We're now listening to Wealthy Sistas Radio Show. We're now listening to Wealthy Sistas with Deborah Hartnett.
Okay. Did you hear the overlap in there?
I don't know what was happening, but that's technology for you.
Hey, we're here.
Hey, lady.
Okay, wait a minute. It sounds like we have two browsers open. Let me make sure. Let's just check sure. Make sure we don't have another browser open here. I don't see anything else.
I think we're good.
Technical difficulties. Do you have anything?
Not now.
Are you hearing the echo?
I do not.
Okay.
Do
You don't hear it?
I don't hear it.
I do hear it's like a delay.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, hey, I would just pretend that I don't hear the echo in my ear as long as you all don't hear it, or as long as you all don't hear the delay. I don't know if I can pretend if I hear the echo in my ear or not.
Let me see. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is there an echo?
But there is like a delay.
Okay. You want to remove me and bring in?
Yeah, let me remove you. Okay. Okay. Testing.
All right. How about now?
It's still a double feedback there, but you can't hear it. Let me just take these earbuds out and see if that has something to do with it.
Let's see.
All right,
now.
we're going to get this started here. Let's see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Okay, very good. Very good. Let me just close my little cap here and take it off. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, maybe it was these right here. I won't say the brand. Welcome to Wealthy Sistas Radio with a View. I'm Deborah Hartnett, your host, and we are so excited to have you join us today. We appreciate you for coming back, our second show after a long hiatus. Many of you all who know we were on the air for 7 years, consistent every single week. And we took a little hiatus, and after many people always calling me or texting me, like, when are you gonna bring the show back? And then all of these phenomenal sisters doing big things. Like last week, we had Robin Wilson. She's doing some incredible things. I had to promote her. So, you know, here at Wealthy Sistas, our purpose is twofold, y'all. We must make sure that we inspire, we encourage, and we edify, right? And secondly, we want to make sure that we are providing practical knowledge that you can apply to your business right away, like instantly. And when I talk about edify, it is so important, especially today, for you to recognize that we are here, we are strong, and we are multifaceted. Right? You see in the news, you see in the media, you see on television, you see one-dimensional. But I want to let you know there's some sisters out here doing some amazing things. And this is the show that is going to promote that. So again, welcome to Wealthy Sistas Radio with a View. We're here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And speaking of that, today's show I am super excited about. I guess you're going to say every week I'm super excited, because I am. I'm super excited about my dear friend who is joining us today. I had the privilege of meeting her several years ago at a networking event. And so today, how apropos to talk about what we're going to talk about, networking and the importance of networking, along with the key benefits of owning a franchise. So we're going to come right back with this special guest of today, none other than excited, dear. Welcome to Wealthy Sisters Radio with a View.
I love radio with the view. Why did I think of that?
Yeah, girl. Well, I all of my sound is still radio, and it's like I'm not gonna change all that right now. So we're on View. I'm still gonna broadcast on the radio. We'll start that in about 2 weeks as well. But hey, we're here in live and living color.
Well, thank you for asking me to join you.
Well, I got to let everybody know who you are. She is an extraordinary woman, okay? Her story, I mean, when I tell you, we hear people that talk about, hard life and challenges that life brings us, because that's a part of life. Life does bring us challenges, right, Toni?
Absolutely.
This woman has experienced so many challenges, but she has learned the gift that God has given us and using those challenges and building a beautiful testimony from it. So she is an award-winning entrepreneur, award-winning franchisee, a master sales and business marketing coach. She's none other than Toni Harris Taylor. Welcome, Toni.
Hey, thank you.
Yes.
Wow, right? Well, thank you for edifying me. And I just have to say, you've gone through your own challenges and you have come out. And I'll never forget the time I saw you do a split for your 50th birthday.
Hey, I can still do it now, 53.
And I'm just like, she is an overcomer in a big, big way. And so I'm excited to be a part of your show. And I'm honored because I know you know a lot of sisters. So thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, the honor is all mine. And Toni, I want to just get right into what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, we have a tradition here at Wealthy Sisters. I like to say we want to know all of those ingredients that went into this beautiful recipe that we see in you today. Where did you grow up? What is your background? What led you on the path that you are on today?
Ooh. So, as you can see, my brand is Drastic.
Yes.
And I believe the first drastic step that I've taken was when my mother moved us from Cleveland, Ohio. Mm-hmm. I was born and raised there, and she moved us when I was 15.
Wow.
Now, I was in the same school district from kindergarten until high school, and I had just come into my own. And the boys were starting to notice me, and I was starting to get friends. And she said, "We're moving."
Oh my goodness!
And moved us from Cleveland to Houston, Texas, from the north to the south, from the black to the white. And when I say that was drastic, it was drastic. But in hindsight, I wouldn't change a thing. She knew what she was doing. It taught me how to adapt, how to change, how to grow, and how to get out of my comfort zone. And that's what I teach my clients today. How to adapt, so how to change, how to grow, and how to get out of their comfort zone.
That is so important. I like how to adapt. So how to adapt, how to change, and how to grow.
And get out of your comfort zone.
And get out of your comfort zone. I mean, that applies to everything that we do. And it's funny you should say that because my daughter has, we moved a lot as well. And she experienced different school districts in, different states. And often, sometimes, I would get feedback that wasn't, that's not good. But I thought the military, they move all the time. And people, you can tell people who are used to adapting and they recognize that the world is not the same in every space and place that you go.
Yeah.
And you can learn so much. And that's where that growth, I could imagine, that you talk about, that's coming in.
It did make me the person I am. We moved a lot. And now as an adult, I look back and I moved a lot. But I think it's because I have a hankering for change now. And when things get status quo and boring, it's like I got to make a drastic step.
Got to make a drastic. Why do you think people are so afraid of change? Like, why do you think, like, because I mean, sometimes I just see the white knuckles and the feet and the just like, it's just like, no. And for someone who's like you, been very fluid, there's a level of patience that you have to have,
People resist change because of FEAR.
Uh-huh.
FEAR. Fear. They don't know what's on the other side of the change. And so that's why they resist the change. But what I've learned about fear in my 56 years of life is that
You look
everything
amazing.
that I
Wait a
feel,
minute. You can't throw that out there and think I can't say anything and interrupt you. What? You look phenomenal, sister. I thought we were close. Same, it was 3 years, but I thought we were. I was thinking you might have been a little younger.
well, thank you, baby. But what I've learned is most of the things I fear never come true.
What is that? False evidence appearing real?
Real. Yeah. So people fear change and they fear taking drastic steps because they don't know what's on the other side of the step. But what I've learned is if you're not taking drastic steps, you're standing still. And you're not going anywhere when you're standing still.
Maya said 56. We're still on the 56. We're hearing what you're saying.
Well, thank you, Maya. You know, black don't crack. We have to our advantage. We got a lot of disadvantages. But
I don't know. We say that, but I've been.
Thank you, Maya.
Yes, but that is so important, what you're saying about, taking those drastic steps. You have owned several businesses, and I want to talk about what you are doing today, like we say, the key benefits of owning a franchise, because there are a lot of people who are, especially today after the pandemic. I mean, let's face it, we know that has encouraged people to reassess, reevaluate, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely.
And
the great resignation is happening. People are leaving corporate
yes,
and reevaluating their strategies. So yes, please, let's talk franchise.
yeah, because I think people working from home, they got a taste of that, being able to be with their children or family or whatever, being able to travel, that independence and flexibility. So now someone wants to start a business, or maybe they are a business owner, and like we talked about last week with Robin, they're at a pivotal point that they're like, either I need to get my resume back out here floating, or I'm just I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, let's start there.
Okay.
That's exactly where I was in 2019. Exactly. So my coaching business was making six figures. I was doing very well. I was but what I realized was I was 53 and retirement was ahead. And I couldn't figure out how I was going to retire from Drastic Results, because Drastic is my philosophy. It's just me. How am I going to retire? So I started dusting off the resume. Not because of money, but for retirement strategy. I knew I either had to get a retirement plan or create a business that I could sell. So I started interviewing for jobs, two jobs that I was a shoe-in for, Deborah. I didn't want no job, did not want no job. But
You unemployable.
exactly. But I couldn't figure out how I was going to retire. So I started talking to a friend that I met networking who's a life coach. And she said, Toni, what's your why? And I told her my why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps to be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource, I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. She said to me, are you doing that? Yes. Are you getting paid to do it? Now, that's a whole nother question.
Uh-oh.
So I said, well, when I coach, when I speak, yes, I get paid. What would you need to do to get paid to connect people? I said, I would need to start my own networking group. She said, why don't you? I said, no, absolutely not. I've seen too many people run networking groups and make no money. I don't know what to charge.
You see, you said.
I don't know what to charge. I don't have technology. I don't know how to run a group. And I don't want to start from scratch. No, thank you. She said, Toni, don't worry about the how. It will show up. I said, girl, please. I clicked off of Zoom. I'm not starting no networking group. Well, a lady I had met 3 months earlier followed up with me 3 months later, 1 week after the conversation with the coach. She said, Toni, I haven't forgot about you. I still think you should be a franchise owner with Network in Action. Really? I just said last week, I can't start a networking group. She said, just meet with the franchisor. I said, how much is that thing again? She said 40,000. I ain't got 40,000. I'm looking for a job. She said, don't worry about it. Just meet him. Now I'm the queen of networking, so I'm gonna meet people.
Right. You never know. You're always open.
You never know.
That's right.
He showed up, told me everything I said I didn't have, the franchise had. All I had to do was pay him 40,000. I don't have 40,000. He said, how much do you have? I'll take it. And put me on a no credit check, no interest payment plan.
But God.
So I plugged and played. He had everything I needed to get paid to connect people. Just what the coach had just asked me. And I just plugged in. That award you see over there is Rookie of the Year. I'm the fastest launching franchise. I think I've brought 7 other franchisees across the country.
Wow.
And now I'm growing into a global enterprise because I have 7 people around the country, 2 in Canada, running groups under me.
Now,
That's when I'm about to quit.
See, if you could feel, if you could see it, if you could feel what I'm feeling right now, because last week, Robin Wilson was at the verge. There was something happened in 2019, because I hadn't even told my personal story yet. It's not time for that. But was on the verge of quitting. She had her resume. And she has, the whole line of products and all of that. And she was just like, this is over. Just like you. She made the list. The pandemic came. She made the list of Black businesses to support. You remember when everybody was doing that? And she was on that list. And ding, ding, sales. Ding, 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 ding. To now, she spoke to us last week. She's in Macy's now.
Wow.
Announced on the show last week that she just signed a deal for her own mattress line.
Wow. I'm telling you, let me tell you something else about that. The two jobs that I had interviewed for, I was a shoe-in for. The first one, now the hiring manager is a personal friend. I said something in the interview that was like, when I got in the car, I was like, why did you say that? She called me and said, why did you say that? And I was like, I don't know.
Because you weren't supposed to be there.
And the second one just vanished, like it didn't even exist. Poof, it was gone. And then networking action came into my life. And I'm telling you, now I'm on a mission to help those who are connectors. You're already connecting people for free. You're
Right.
running someone else's network for free.
Right.
We're partnering. I'm paying money and helping you grow your business while you help other people grow theirs.
Well, that is a great quick segue for us to just really go to, speaking of networking, I need everybody to know Wealthy Sisters now is also on Black USA. We are there, Black USA news on Tuesdays, 1 p.m. The show re-airs. But you talk about networking. Donnie, my brother Donnie, out of Be More. I'm telling you, everybody needs to check in with him and to check in and support them on what they're doing. But I know we have on a time crunch here, Toni. I want to go back to, what you were saying about the importance of the networking and how, someone shared, why did you say what you said? Did you mess up the relationship?
I did not. In fact, she texted me recently and I said, thank you so much for not hiring me. I had my best year ever in 2021.
Wow.
And she was like, you're welcome. So before I go into networking, which is my favorite thing to talk about, I do want to talk about franchising a little bit closer.
Please.
You heard me say, I didn't have, and the franchise came and had everything I didn't have. That's what franchising is. Especially as Black people, nobody has brought us the opportunities unless they were restaurants. But there is hundreds of industries that have franchises. Before you do a startup from scratch, explore franchising. It gives you a proven model. It gives you support. All you have to do is plug and play. Just
Plug and play.
And you never know, the franchisor may finance you.
Wow. Like in your particular
In my
situation.
case.
Exactly.
And he's paying me now.
Wow.
He sends me a check every month because I've brought him so many people from my network.
And one of the things that I love about the franchise is the system. The system is in place, and that acronym, we know is save yourself time, energy, and money.
Yeah.
You can bang your head on the wall, not saying that you shouldn't have your own business and not saying that franchising is the only way to go. But today we're talking about the key benefits of owning a franchise and that system that you're talking about, because you can have the money. A lot of people have money, from they may have raised capital or used their 401k and have been successful and all of that, but they don't know that maybe you shouldn't do a build out. Maybe you should find a space that's already built out to what you want. They don't necessarily know that because of the experience. But with a franchise, right?
And there are so many franchises. Network and action. Home base, no employees, recession proof, pandemic proof. Okay? Working from home, $10,000. $10,000 and you're a franchisee. And it's $100,000 business model with a $10,000 investment.
So how does that work? Take a few, because I know you piqued someone's interest. How am I going to work from home with $10,000 and have $100,000 business model?
You do have to know how to sell and prospect and talk to people and have a heart for helping them. So with a $10,000 investment, which by the way is going away soon. So if you want to take action, don't be thinking about it because you're going to miss it. You get 3 groups. So you can run in-person groups, you can run virtual groups, you can run infinity groups. So if you wanted to do one that was all Black business owners, go for it. All women business owners, go for it. But you get the opportunity to run 3 groups. When you get to 20 paid members, the revenue is $100,000 after royalties.
Oh, okay.
And that's just running the groups. And we have a model, we meet monthly, so it doesn't kill you. You can still do your other business. And it's perfect for people who serve business owners already.
Okay, go ahead.
So business coaches, digital marketers, social media marketers, people who are those centers of influence already, that's who it's perfect.
And the purpose of it is to connect people.
Yeah, it's a referral group network. Now, everybody knows BNI, so I'm just going to use them as a point of reference. It's different. I say they're both hamburgers, the toppings are different. But the point is connecting community. That's the other thing, Deborah. You know this. Entrepreneurship's lonely.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And if you don't have community, you'll go out of business.
Yes.
And so network in action also gives you community and family and like-minded people who have a heart to help each other to grow.
Well, and I think we just need to spend just a moment on this right here. The importance for entrepreneurs to have that connection, because a lot of times, when we think about networking events, particularly prior to the pandemic, people think that you're supposed to go to a networking event or you go to a conference and you go and you're supposed to sell your stuff right there on the spot, right?
Yep.
But let's talk about the realistic way that happens look at our relationship. We met, I know it's been at least 12 years, 2011. See, you got a great memory. So what is that? That's 11 years.
Yeah.
11 years. And I could pick up the phone or see your show, what you're doing, pick up the phone, call you, and look at the benefit for today.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, number 1, and I'm a real proponent for this. Stop going to events, leaving with a purse or a pocket full of business cards, and nothing happens. You don't call them, they don't call you. You just wasted your time, your money, showing up for nothing.
For nothing.
Thinking that if you're in the room, something is going to happen. We don't get married without dating.
Right.
You don't get referrals without dating.
Right.
It's the same thing. People have to know you, and passing someone a business card is not knowing you.
Right.
So my first tip, and that's what you and I did 11 years ago, is get on the person's calendar right then and there on the spot.
That's right.
And then you and I connected because you lived in another city. And I don't know, it wasn't Zoom, but it was some sort of virtual call we had. Skype back then. But then we stayed connected on social media. And in 2017, when you had something going on, you called me, you said, I'm coming to Houston. Let's meet, let's
Let's
talk.
be.
I'm telling you, that's networking, that's connection. But you have to date before you get married. You have to date before you get referrals.
You got to put in the work.
Yes.
You got to put in the work. Yeah, you have to put in the work. It's effort. It is effort. You know, like you said, the importance of getting on the calendar. Well, what are we going to talk about? Well, what do you do? What do they do?
Exactly.
Examine maybe how you all can support each other. You know, down the road maybe.
And it's not about them buying from you and you
Right.
buying from them. It's
Right.
about who can I introduce you to?
How can I
Who
help
can
you?
how can I hold the door open for you? If more small business owners had a hold the door open mindset, we wouldn't struggle so hard. We wouldn't think about looking for jobs because we all would be helping each other.
I love that. I love that. So with that in mind, the networking piece, you know, we're talking about it now. What are those tips that you would suggest? You started talking about the first thing you said is when you meet, well, the first thing you gave that command, stop collecting all those cards and not taking action.
Absolutely.
Second
So
thing you said, go ahead, sis.
I was going to say, my saying is show up, be up, follow up to blow up.
To blow up. Uh-oh.
Show up. That's number one.
That's right. Okay. And then you said get on that calendar. And what are some other tips that you can give to people who, some people, you know, it's easy for us to talk because that's kind of more of our personalities. Some people are more, they may be, you know, engineers and have started their business, right? Which is a whole nother thing that they might need to look at if their personality is not as such. They may need to look at some things they need to do to adjust or to look at hiring someone who can be that development, that business development person, because emotional intelligence is very important, right?
Absolutely. Now, you said a couple of things there. Number one, if you're an introvert, don't let that be your excuse.
Well, I don't want to change. I don't want people to try to
Then you
change
need to
me.
get on somebody's job. Because the number one thing to being an entrepreneur is knowing how to market and sell yourself. What you do is second. What you do
Yes.
is second.
Yes.
And too many people spend too much time certifying, education. They spend too much time perfecting the craft and no time on marketing and selling it. You can be the best kept secret because you're wonderful at what you do, but nobody knows about you.
Nobody knows about you.
So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, make up your mind today, you're going to learn how to market and sell. Because even if you hire somebody, what are the objections? I don't know. I never sold for myself. You can't hire somebody till you know the pain that the clients have and the pain that the salesperson's going to have, so you can train them.
That's right. And that's so important. I don't want to cut you off, but not only so that you can train them, but you can watch your chicken house, or however they said, watch the house, because you know they can take your money if you don't know that something should take 3 hours and they're billing you for 40 hours, right?
Now the other thing is that you can hire the best salesperson in the world. If they get sick, their family needs them. You're
Right.
out of business. You
Right.
cannot leave your business up to somebody else to grow.
Right, because it's your baby, it's your vision, it's your vision. Nobody can. I used to, when I had a wedding event planning business, I used to tell the brides all the time, we're not starting this wedding late. You know, it's your wedding.
That's right.
No, we love you, and your family loves and cares about you,
Then
but
they'll be
they
on
don't
time.
care enough to sit 4 hours waiting on you to start this wedding. Nobody cares. This is your baby.
That's exactly right.
Respect their time.
So your business is your baby. And if you don't invest in coaching around marketing and sales, you will go out of business. If you don't invest time in networking, that story you told the lady who's at Macy's, I guarantee you is a connection, a relationship that held the door open for her. But if she was sitting at home wallowing in, oh, this isn't working, she would be on a job right now. But
Right.
she continued to show up when it was hard,
That's right.
and somebody held the door open for her.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Wow. Now, there's a lot of things that you're doing with your franchisee business, your franchise business, and I want people to be able to get your information. I've got your website here, meetwithtoniharristaylor.com, because you talked about that special that they're offering to start the
Yes.
franchise just for a little
Yes.
investment of $10,000. But I also, or I should say, and I also want you to talk about that drastic results. And because we're talking about sales, we're talking about the importance of marketing, and that's something that you are a master at. What do you do, or how do you help those who say, I don't like sales? Because, that's the first thing you hear from people. I don't like sales. And salespeople, are the most one of the most important industries, because we wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't have this pen, the light bulbs.
Right.
Somebody had to sell that to the stores. Selling is very important, like you said.
Selling is the lifeblood of every business. It's the lifeblood of the economy, and it's honorable. Now, let's talk about that. So drastic results. I hope entrepreneurs get known, get connected, get paid to make six figures and beyond. I teach you how to network. I give you the courage to show up. I teach you how to use speaking as a marketing tool to attract people to you. And I teach you how to use social media and all the follow-up that goes with that in order to maintain relationships like you and I have done that lead to business. So those are the primary things that I teach. The other thing is I am the coach that connects. So when you coach with me, my entire network is open to you.
That's
When
true.
I know you, I'm going to make connections for you and help you to grow.
That's true.
In fact, when you called me last week and you said you had a reviving your show, I said, come on my coaching call and invite my clients for the opportunity.
That's what I was getting ready to say. So I want her clients to hear that. She's got your back. Because she was trying to get you already lining you up for the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
So-
that's what a connector does.
That's exactly right. So the advantage, I not only teach you what to do, but I show you and take you. I take my clients with me networking. I invite, if I go to a national event, I'm inviting them to come with me.
So you're doing hands-on. You're not just talking theory. Because
Yes.
there are a lot of coaches out here, Tony. Let's just face it. There's a lot, a dime a dozen that we
Yes.
know. Now, I know how long you've been in business, right? But I know, again, we kind of alluded to this last week, with the technology, it enables a lot of things. And sometimes it can kind of make people circumvent experience, if that makes
Absolutely.
sense,
Absolutely.
right? So,
Yeah.
so just if you could give us two or three. I don't want to take away from your business, because people need to invest in themselves. They don't want, we're not trying to get this for free.
Yeah.
But give them something practical so that they can understand, because these things are not tangible. That's another thing when we talk about, particularly in our community, we don't understand tangible and intangible, the time, how valuable our time is and
Right.
why we should be paid for our time versus me selling a t-shirt or a car, those tangible things there, right?
Okay. So the first tip is know your target market.
Okay.
And as easy as that sounds, most people don't want to do target marketing or niching. So you have to be specialized. You got to know your target market. What's their pain? How do you solve their pain? How are you different? How are you unique from everybody else in the world who does exactly what you do? And then how to message yourself so that people will want to be attracted to you. They'll say, you're the one I want to work with. I just told you, my unique value is I'm the coach that connects. I'm in the trenches with my clients, right? So if you are looking for, my target market is service entrepreneurs who's looking for a way to learn how to network. Know your target market, where they are, go where they are, serve them first, and they will want to serve you. And then I cannot leave without saying, show up. And now we're in a virtual world. You are not an event if your camera's off. I am dressed from the waist up. Y'all don't know what's happening on the bottom. But I took the time to put my face on, choose some jewelry, pick out the right hair, get, my background.
Right.
Don't, please, y'all, stop showing up, leaving the camera off, and looking a hot mess. Your background is junky. The cat is walking across the computer. Stop it.
Stop it. Drastic results. You got to take drastic measures.
That's exactly right.
You didn't tap on you didn't say stop it.
So a lot of times the mama or the big sister comes out because I'm so passionate about our success
Yes.
and it's changed our lives.
Yes.
And so we have to learn from people who've been there, done that, made the mistake, got the t-shirt, stop trying to do it by yourself, invest in yourself. And what I've seen every single time for myself and my clients, when you stretch to invest yourself, God says, you do one step, I'm going to do two. And I've seen it where money has come out of the sky for my clients because they invested in themselves.
They invested in themselves and they believed and had faith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Where there's vision, there is provision. That is true. So Toni, with drastic results, you're a business. We know with the franchise, you've shared some things for people. Let's just give them some tangible testimonies. For yourself. Some of the things that, as far as entrepreneurship, and this is why I want people to understand. I'm always going to be teaching, God willing, inshallah, the importance of being independent, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I can say that it enabled me is to be home with my daughter. She's now a freshman in college, and she never saw me walk out that door for anyone except for myself and her, our family. And for me to be able to be there and do things, that's just one of the benefits for me. But what would you say some of the testimonies for yourself as being an entrepreneur, staying focused, in this? Because I want people to know that it's not easy. Oh Lord, it's not easy. And I've experienced, like you said, a lot of challenges, and just as you.
Well, I'm a two-time widow. I survived a 10-day coma, all as an entrepreneur. And it was my network that got me through everything. So the tangible is show up and build your network. serve other people first. But I have a couple of clients that are wonderful success stories. And I don't have time to go into all of them, but the one that stands out the most is Mia. Mia's a life insurance agent. She was struggling. When I met her, she didn't have the money to invest in NIA, but she said, I'm taking my bill money and I'm going to put down the deposit. And she kept showing up. I said, one time she came to the meeting and then she disappeared. I'm like, where'd she go? Called her later. She said her lights got cut off. She had to go check on her children. That's how much she was struggling. So I said, who do you need to meet? I introduced her to someone. She joined his company, became the number one insurance agent in the company 2 years in a row. She was working in her hot Houston garage. She now is on the 18th floor. My neighbor in my office, working on the 18th floor, and she's sending her kids to college, all because she invested in herself when she didn't have it, and she kept showing up.
So that's the theme. Invest in yourself.
And keep showing up.
Keep showing up.
Keep showing up.
Have that faith.
Absolutely.
Well, I know you are on a moment's time here, time crunch.
Yeah, and I got my own show, so I'm gonna plug my own show. It's the
Tell 'em.
Drastic Results with Toni Harris Taylor show. It airs 11 o'clock Central Time and so 12 o'clock Eastern Time every Tuesday. And so I'm gonna be interviewing one of my NIA clients, and I want you to come on over, follow me. I'm on a YouTube channel, so go ahead and subscribe to that. And you can just Google Toni Harris Taylor and find everything. And I also have an event coming up. May I share?
Please, please.
My event is Profitable Events for Drastic Results. It's for service-based entrepreneurs to learn how to use events to be able to sell more to their target market. Last year, I did an event, and the event was awesome. I got $10,000 in sponsorships, closed over $100,000 in coaching, and I'm going to teach you how to do whatever size event you want without using your own money.
And what's the name of it again? I want to put it on the screen.
Profitable Events
Okay.
for Drastic Results.com.
And can they get it on your website?
They can
That's a
get
little
it.
longer than I was going to say.
Profitable Events for DrasticResults.com. And I
Okay.
need to put it on my webpage. But you can go to meetwithtoniharristaylor.com and
Okay.
schedule an appointment with me. And I'll just, if nothing else, connect you to somebody you need to know.
Awesome, awesome. Toni, what 3 closing words would you give to our audience today?
Show up, be up, follow up, and you will blow up.
And don't give up. Add that one in there.
Don't
Don't give up.
Give up.
And you
because
will blow up.
And look at seriously, look at franchising.
Yes.
Whatever you are doing, there's probably a franchise model already ready. And just connect with me. I have franchise consultants in my group, and they'll point you in the right direction.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much, Toni, for being here. It's been a pleasure, and just spending this quality time with you. It's always good to see you. Excited about the great things that you're doing. Again, everybody, join Toni at meetwithtoniharristaylor.com. Follow her at the Drastic Results Show. And that's what we have to do, continue to support and share, with each other. That's a part of that networking.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. Take
Thank
care.
you, Toni. Take care and have a great show.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. And speaking of show, y'all, I'm excited. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, what an awesome guest today we had. Excited for next week as well. As we here at Wealthy Sisters promise you, and Toni, I don't want to hold you, sis. You can hop on off. But I promise you, we want to bring you the best in quality content. Like I said, it is my mission and my passion to make sure that you get tangible information that you can apply to your life, to your business, and have that positive impact immediately and, most importantly, long term. And so next week, have you had questions about all this blockchain and crypto? Do you know the difference between what crypto, what blockchain, and all of this? Well, next week, I want you to check this out. Have none other than Miss Naja Roberts. This sister is bad to the bone, y'all. She is, when I tell you, she is the first to have her own, and I'm just learning how these terms are, but I want to say exchange. The first Black woman to have her own exchange. Okay, she's out of LA. She's touring. She has a foundation that she's working with children, and she's also the co-founder of Black Wall Street Wallet. And her partner is none other than the famous actor, Mr. Hill. And his name is escaping me. Hill Harper. Okay, Hill Harper. So when I tell you, she is highly, highly sought after. She's been on all types of networks. She's on a local show there. She's on Tavis Smiley's show. So when I tell you, you want to tell everybody about what we're talking about next week, you definitely want to tune in. And again, I want to just say thank you for supporting us. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If this is good content for you and you know you want others to know about it, we appreciate you for taking the effort to watch it, subscribe, and like, and share it. Share it with others as well. So with all that said, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. It has truly been my pleasure hosting this show. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And we want to continue to wish you and yours the best of everything great. All right. With all that said, we'll see you next week.
This has been another episode of Wealthy Sistas Radio. Thank you for joining us. Catch the full hour encore Thursdays 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern and 24/7 at wealthysistasradio.com. The opinions of our guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our host, staff, or partners of Wealthy Sistas Radio.